This is your Suman sir. Because of the COVID-19 severity, our curriculum will be planned to online video lectures. So, in this point of view, I, I am assigned for DC machines and transformers. So, the DC machines and transformers subject is consisting of 5 units. So, among those, we will start with first unit. So, in the DC machines and transformers, in the first unit, the consisting of two parts. First part is magnetic material properties and applications, and the second part is principles of electromechanical energy conversion. So, in the first part, the points are introduction, magnetic materials and their properties, magnetically induced EMF and force, AC operation of the magnetic circuits, hysteresis and eddy current losses, permanent magnets and its applications. And the second part of the first unit comprises of energy in the magnetic systems, field energy and mechanical energy, multiple excited magnetic field systems, force or torques in the systems with permanent magnets, energy conversion via electrical field, dynamical equations of the electromechanical systems. So, in the first unit, first we discuss about the magnetic materials. So, in that magnetic materials, what are the contents? Let us see. So, introduction and terms connected with the magnetic materials and classification with the properties and applications of the contents in the magnetic materials. So, coming to the introduction, the first we tell about the what is a magnetic material. So, magnetic materials are those materials in which a state of the magnetization can be induced. That means a material which exhibits the magnetism property is called a magnetic material. And next, if that is a magnetic material, definitely that will exhibit some magnetic field around it. So that is the second point of this introduction. And next, the terms associated with the magnetic materials are, first one is the magnetic force, and the second one is the magnetic flux density, and next one is the magnetic field intensity or magnetic field strength, and relative permeability, retentivity, and corrosivity. So what is the magnetic force? What is the magnetic force? It is the force developed by the magnet. It is the force developed by the magnet. And magnetic flux density. Magnetic flux density means the effect of the force through which area is called magnetic flux density. That means every magnet will be affected on a particular area. So that area is called magnetic flux density, and that can be given with a letter capital B. And magnetic field intensity. Magnetic field intensity means the intensity of the magnetic force is called magnetic field intensity or magnetic field strength, and that also can be represented with the symbol H. And relative permeability. Permeability means it is the ability of the magnetic material to which how much of magnetism it consisting of in its is called the permeability. Normally, this relative permeability can be represented with a symbol mu. And next, retentivity property. Retentivity property means even though if you remove the external source from the magnetic material, then that magnetic material consisting of some magnetic flux, that property is called retentivity property. And corrosivity. Corrosivity means it is the minimum value of the magnetization force in order to make the magnetic effect of the magnet is zero. Is called the corrosivity. And next, classification. Normally, magnets are classified into diamagnetic materials and paramagnetic materials and ferromagnetic materials. So here we will see about the nearly 5 classifications. So what are those 5 classifications means? Ferromagnetic materials, paramagnetic materials, diamagnetic materials, and magnetically soft material and magnetically hard material. So under that, the first one is ferromagnetic material. So what is the ferromagnetic material? A type of the material that is highly attracted to magnets and can become permanently magnetized is called ferromagnetic materials. That means all the magnets are made by using so many methods. So this magnetic material is a material which is highly attracted by the magnets, and this will become as a permanently magnet is called the ferromagnetic material. However, this ferromagnetic material can be described with the help of a relative permeability. Relative permeability. So, for a ferromagnetic material, the relative permeability is very greater than 1. And similarly, these ferromagnetic material have high susceptibility. So, what is susceptibility? Susceptibility means the attractive nature or repel nature of a ferromagnetic material is called susceptibility. If the particular material can have a attracting nature, then that susceptibility is positive susceptibility, and if a particular material having a repel nature, then that susceptibility is called a negative susceptibility. And next, the various types of ferromagnetic materials are ferrous, cobalt, nickel, chromium, and manganese, etc. However, this ferromagnetism can be observed by using this diagram. So here, all the dipoles present in the magnets are uniformly aligned, and all the field lines are present in the material. So in the ferromagnetic material, all the field lines are present in the within the material. And next magnetic material is paramagnetic material. So what is a paramagnetic material? It is a substance or a body which are weakly attracted by the poles of a magnet but not retaining any permanent magnetism. That means it consisting of some magnetism, but that is not a permanent magnetism, and it will be weakly attracted, not repelled, weakly attracted by the poles of the magnet. That means it is also one type of magnet, but it consisting of some weak attracted nature, and this can be also explained with the help of a permeability. So for a paramagnetic material, the permeability is a slightly greater than unity, whereas in the ferromagnetic material, the relative permeability is very greater than unity, and in case of the paramagnetic material, the permeability is slightly greater than unity, and these are magnetized also slightly, and the attracted lines of forces are weakly. That means only few lines are present in the magnetic material, and some other lines are outside the magnetic material. So what are the various types of the paramagnetic materials? Means aluminum, calcium, oxygen, etc. are the paramagnetic materials. So in this, the all the dipoles in the magnetic materials are not uniformly aligned, and the field lines in the paramagnetic materials are, some lines are present in the magnetic material, and some lines are present in the outside the material. So that's why it have a weak magnetic field. And coming to the third magnetic material, that is diamagnetic material. So it is a substance which create a magnetic field in opposite to an externally applied field. That means the apply this opposes the externally applied field. That means normally it is not a perfect magnet. It is not a perfect magnet, and the susceptibility is negative. So what is susceptibility? The susceptibility is the nature of the attraction or repulsion. If the nature is attraction, then the susceptibility is positive. If the nature is the repulsion, so the susceptibility is negative. Here our diamagnetic materials opposes to the applied field, so that have the repel nature. That's why the susceptibility of the diamagnetic materials is negative, and these are also the can be explained with a relative permeability. So for this diamagnetic materials, the relative permeability is slightly less than unity, whereas in case of the ferromagnetic materials, the relative permeability is very greater than unity, and in the paramagnetic material, the relative permeability is slightly greater than unity, but the diamagnetic material, the permeability is slightly less than unity, and they also repel the lines of forces slightly. That means, coming to the diagram of the diamagnetism material, most of the lines are outside the magnetic material. Only few lines are present in the inside the magnetic material. And the examples for the magnetic materials, that means diamagnetic materials, are bismuth silver, copper, and hydrogen, etc. So next, magnetic soft material. So these magnetic soft materials have some characteristics. What are those characteristics? Means first one is they have the permeability. They have the permeability means the ability of the having the magnetism in itself. That means the magnetically soft materials have magnetism property, but the magnetic energy is not stored in a high manner. That means total energy will be transferred to the one form to another form. It won't absorb the energy, and they have the negligible corrosive force. Corrosive force means what? It is the minimum value of the magnetizing force in order to make the magnetizing to 0. So that force is very less. That means it won't store the any energy. And as hysteresis loop is also narrow. Hysteresis loop is narrow means that particular material have less number of losses. So since that have the less number of losses, that can be preferable for high efficient applications. So what are the example for the magnetically soft material means cast iron, carbon steel, manganese steel, nickel steel, etc. And next, magnetically hard material. So what are the characteristics of the magnetically hard materials means? First one is that they possess the high value of BH product. High value of the BH product means it consisting of the so many losses compared to with the magnetically soft material. And by observing these two properties also, that means high retentivity and high coercivity properties also indicates this have the some types of losses when compared with the magnetically soft materials. So we won't prefer the magnetically hard materials than the magnetically soft materials. And the hysteresis loop for this also more rectangular. More rectangular means losses will be more. That means iron losses and copper losses are more. And next, examples for the magnetically hard materials. What are the examples? Tungsten steel and cobalt steel and chromium steel are the examples for the magnetically hard materials. And applications. What are the applications of the magnetic materials means? Here we discussed about the four types of magnetic materials. What are those four types? Means ferromagnetic materials applications and diamagnetic materials applications and magnetically smooth soft materials and magnetically hard materials. So first one is the ferromagnetic materials applications. So these ferromagnetic materials can be used in the magnetic recording devices such as cassette tapes, floppy disks from computers, and the magnetic strip on the back of the credit cards. And the diamagnetic materials normally consisting of a repel nature. That's why it can be used for the magnetic levitation, where an object will be made to float in or above a strong magnet. Suppose a object will be float above a strong magnet, definitely we can use the diamagnetic material because of its repellent nature. And next, the magnetic soft materials. So magnetic soft materials are in making the electromagnets. Why? Because this can be have the very useful nature. That means it have the less losses. So since it have the less losses, this can be used for the so many applications. So among the so many applications, these electromagnets are used in the telephone receiver, bells, loudspeakers, etc. And similarly, for the magnetically hard materials are used in the making permanent magnets. So these are the applications of the magnetic materials. So in the next video, we will see about the remaining topics. Thank you.